Greetings one and all, and welcome to Dual-Wielder's Writing Debugging, where I break down writing tips and tactics into bite-sized chunks to help you improve your own writing. In this installment, let's take a look at the 5-man band. But what exactly is the 5-man band? Well, the 5-man band is the designation that a group of characters that are frequently seen together can fall into, and they each typically have a set of roles within their dynamic. Now, there are groups of characters that can have more or fewer than 5 members, and while they wouldn't officially fall under this designation, they can still fulfill the same role as a 5-man band. But just what are the members of the 5-man band? Well, those are the leader, the lancer, the heart, the smart guy, and the big guy. So let's kick things off with the leader. Now, this role is pretty self-explanatory. The leader is the one that is ultimately in charge of the group, and if the 5-man band is the focus of the work in question, then the leader is generally the protagonist. But what qualities should a leader have? Well, they can be as varied in their personality as any individual in the real world, but what they need is the ability to inspire those in their team and set them up to be in the right place at the right time, and to give their all for the group. In fact, one of a leader's best traits is knowing when to listen to their team and let them take the reins. In The Lord of the Rings, Aragorn is an example of a leader. He does everything in his power to ensure that everyone in the Fellowship is safe, and is even willing to lay down his life for the chance to buy Frodo time to cross Gorgoroth. Those that follow him don't do so because he demands it, but because they're inspired by how he takes up the most dangerous tasks himself, and wouldn't ask anything of others that he wouldn't be willing to give himself. Bill from Left 4 Dead is also a leader, ensuring that his group makes it through numerous infected-ridden settings, and even gave his life to ensure their escape. A leader who doesn't lead from the front is no leader at all. The second member of the 5-man band is the lancer. Now, the lancer's personality traits are often the inverse of the leader. If the leader is passionate and impulsive, then the lancer is cold and calculating. If the leader thinks about the big picture, then the lancer looks at the smaller pictures. This oftentimes leads to the lancer butting heads with the leader, but in a well-written story, the two will eventually form a friendship with one another as they come to respect the other's methods. The point of a lancer is to keep the leader on track and to make sure they know what they're doing. The lancer is the one who can call their decisions into question to make sure that they have a good reason for doing what they're doing. The lancer is often, but not always, the second in command to the leader, and one example of such is Iron Man in the MCU. While Captain America was the leader of the Avengers, Iron Man functioned as his foil. This gave Captain America someone who wasn't afraid to stand up to him and challenge his calls, thus making sure that he fully understood what he was doing. It's when he, as the lancer, went against the group that they became weaker and were left open to greater threats. Gray from Fairy Tail is another example of a lancer. While Natsu is hot-headed and impulsive, Gray calls him out for his lack of forethought and keeps his recklessness in check. Despite their constant quarreling, the two eventually become friends. The third member of the 5-man band is the heart. The heart is the one that makes sure that the team stays together, and that they keep their composure and resolve their internal conflicts. Without the heart, the group would likely split up after getting into a serious fight with each other. Gali from Bionicle is one such character. Her brothers often get too full of themselves and eventually have strife within their ranks, and she is the one who helps to shut that down. She knows that only together can they stand up to their enemies, and helps resolve their tensions. Ragatha from The Amazing Digital Circus also functions as a heart, making sure that the other characters are doing well. After all, the stresses of being trapped in a virtual world without any known means of escape can be rather taxing. The final two members of the 5-man band are the ones that will often be absorbed by the other three if there are fewer than 5 members in the team. The leader, the lancer, and the heart are typically staples of the group. The smart guy is in charge of knowing things and helping to come up with plans. They're generally either extremely book smart or exceptionally street smart, and are often very skilled at diplomacy and negotiation, though not always. Hermione from Harry Potter is an example of a smart guy. Seeing as she put most of her free time into studying, she has a vast array of knowledge, which helped out her friends numerous times. If she didn't know the answer to something, she likely would know where to find it. Garrus from Mass Effect can often function as a smart guy, though he can pull double duty as a Lancer to an extremely Paragon-leaning Shepard. He helps come up with plans and analyze situations, and can even lead the team while Shepard is otherwise occupied. The final member of the squad is the big guy. Every story needs a conflict of some sort, and when it comes to a confrontation, the big guy is the cornerstone of the team. They excel at fighting, and the group will be able to lean on them when things get rough. Millie from Hell of a Boss is one such character, and her primary function in IMP is to be able to deal with head-on confrontations. She's skilled with both melee and ranged weapons, though she seems to prefer the former. Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender is another big guy. She's the most skilled at direct combat in the team, and they well know it. Her earthbending lets her manipulate the environment in a way that the others can't most of the time, and many opponents are easy pickings for her. So in summary, the 5-man band is a type of dynamic for a group of your characters to fall into. Having clear roles helps each one be distinct, and can lead to interesting and varied scenarios for them to overcome. But what do you think about the 5-man band? Do you have any favorite groups of characters? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and leave a like if this video helped you out, and subscribe to see more. And may you all have a weapon in each hand.